Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. It has been some time. Some would say it's been too long. Even I would say it's been too long, but frankly, this has just been a hard year. I've been teaching. Sometimes my voice hasn't been right, but I've still been working hard. I have my column in the Numismatist. I still have my duties at Numista, and I'm still buying banknotes that fit into various themes. Tonight I'm going to share with you banknotes that have the theme of bananas, and there's a lot of banknotes in this, so let me give you a little bit about what I found out on Wikipedia. Numista and Krause were other resources about banknotes and banknotes that have bananas on them. Bananas are considered a botanical berry, and they are all flowering plants in the genus Musa. There are different kinds of bananas. Some are more for dessert stuff, and some are more for cooking. And some of them just use other parts of the plant for fiber, or like leaves, for example, can be used in cooking or wrapping food. The banana is originally native to Indo-Malaysia, or Indo-Malaya, and Australia, of course. I do not have any notes with bananas from those places, but I do have them from a lot of other places, and that makes sense since they're grown in about 130 different countries around the world. Even I have some bananas in my backyard here in the state of Oklahoma. They survive the winter, and while I never get fruit from them, I have those lovely leaves that I could use to wrap a ribeye and grill it if I ever needed to. The large flower, though, that you can see on these bananas can be had for sale here in the Asian markets, and I guess it's used in cooking a lot like the artichoke is. I don't honestly know that much more about it. That's about all I know. The word banana is thought to be of West African origin, and it came into English by way of the Spanish or Portuguese languages. So, about all I know about bananas are that I could grow up and buy them at the grocery store, and we little kids would take those little stickers with the Chiquita Banana Lady, and we would stick them on our foreheads or on our arms where they would function as like a tattoo before the sticky fell off. So way, 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 way back in the day, I got to travel to Honduras, and I stayed with the lady whose husband was the guy who ran Chiquita Banana in Panama, Honduras, and several of the other Central American countries. So it was a nice experience to be in their iguana-covered palace that they had with royal palm trees lining the road, and getting to spend a day and so at the beach in the Chiquita Banana corporate cabana. Wonderful experiences. We spent one day on the plantation where we even ran down a guy who was carrying off a bunch of bananas that he had poached. I guess that's the thing, poaching your bananas. And they were poached, and he got stopped, and he got arrested. And we ended up taking the bunch with us back to the Chiquita Banana Palace, and it was handed over to the maids. Yes, they had maids that wore French maid outfits, and it was turned into a feast that we enjoyed later that day. I got to go to where they were processed, and we were told that we should never let the cut end of a banana touch your clothes because it's a stain that will not wash out. And for the longest time, I had a white shirt that had that banana stain on it. And that stain also can get on your skin, and it doesn't come out easily. But what a fascinating day. They even had like some sort of banana train that ran out into the fields, and they cut off these giant hands of bananas, and they would put them on a hook, and they would ride this little train or this little conveyor belt back to where they were processed. And as a special treat, I was given an entire roll of those little banana stickers, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that years of kids in my class enjoyed getting their own Chiquita banana and hearing my story and getting it stuck to their forehead. With that, let's go ahead and let's get started with my banknotes with bananas. I'm going to start here and try to be point out where the bananas are, but I'm not going to go over a whole lot of details in the whole note because I don't want this to be a 20-minute video. I want to keep enjoying doing videos, and I think they should be a little bit more brief. But here we have a Bank of Somalia banknote of 5 shilling, and you can see here the lovely banana that is here in the foreground with the palm in the back, and you can see workers here on the plantation cutting, hauling, loading, and doing whatever it is one does with a banana. Let's move on to the next note, which is from Guinea, and there are no bananas on the front of this note that I've been able to find, so it must be, yes, the back of the note that gets it included in my banana theme. And here we are with another plantation scene. Lots of bananas here and lots of workers carrying these bananas. Something else about a banana is it can be harvested before it's ripe, and the addition of ethylene gas can ripen it up so that it doesn't ripen until it gets to the market where it's going to be sold, which I don't know, I guess makes it kind of a little bit better. But if you ask me, things that ripen on the tree are way better than things that are ripened artificially later. But I have to admit, I like a banana, so I'm glad I can have them. All right, this is a banknote of Jamaica here. This is a $5, and here on the front, next to Mr. Manley, is a banana palm, and there is a giant rack of bananas. There is a word, but it just escapes me at this moment. All these little hands of bananas, and then down here would be that big flower bud that you can sometimes buy at the Asian market. A lovely depiction of a banana. Coming up next is the Maldives, or the Maldives. I haven't really figured out how I like to say it. It's just a lovely note to have. We have some different tropical fruit on the front, perhaps even coconut. But it's the back of the note where you see the splendid banana. In a marketing scene, you can see hands of banana hung up over the trees that are covering or shading out the market. Couple of hands of bananas, 2 or 3 at least right there. Little chickens in the front. Ooh, this will be a good banknote for my chickens on banknotes. And no, I don't mean KFC on a on a advertisement. I mean an actual banknote that actually shows chickens. Here's a banknote from Burundi, and very basic on the front, but on the back, one of my favorite homes because it shows brick home construction in Africa, and over here at this end of the note you can see the banana palms. And I know that some people will have a palm of bananas in their homes, and sometimes they're blue or purple or giant or very tiny. But even in Honduras, you could actually have fruit trees that are in your yard, and I guess it's possible. There's somebody here in Norman, Oklahoma that actually has a fruit-bearing banana. We get to see it on the news periodically, so there you go. This is from Costa Rica, and it's one of my favorite banknotes because it's in what I would consider a top 10 banknote. Most people that aren't collectors of banknotes know about this note, the 5 colones, and it's a very colorful, and it shows a market scene on the back of it. And you're like, well, where's a banana? There's a lady in red, there's a lady in blue, there's everything but a banana, but there is. If you look at what this man is holding right here, it looks like he's holding a stalk of bananas that are in their green state. Very tropical, very beautiful note. From here, we move to a banknote that I probably shouldn't have here in the United States because it is from Cuba, but sometimes you are able to find these, and it's not so terribly hard to find a banknote if you really want one. This one actually shows Camilo Cienfuegos, and I just can't believe that smile isn't anything less than dishonest, but I try not to be political in my banknotes, so we'll go from there. The back of the note shows agriculture in Cuba, and you see field workers, you see harvest machines here. I don't see anything that would indicate a tobacco-y thing, so, and that would be agriculture as well, but move over here to this man here, he's got bananas that he's hauling to their central place of distribution. Moving from Cuba all the way to the Bahamas. Picture of the late Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, wearing the tiara with the Burmese rubies, and wearing the orders that show her father and her grandfather, her family orders. And, you know, this note is more popular because of the straw craft you see on the left end here. But when you look at the back, which is a picture of the straw market, you can see that one of the designs In one of the corners here is bananas. There's a hand of bananas, and it's all spread out right there. And if you look carefully right here, there's a group of bananas here for sale in this market. Maybe this isn't the straw market, but she's wearing a straw hat. Nevertheless, there is the magical banana. Moving on, we got another note from Burundi. And this Burundi note has artwork on the left end that shows bananas being carried to market. One would assume on the head of one of these individuals right here. Let's see if there's bananas on the back side. Nope. We got a pretty Google Street View of an apartment or a government complex in Burundi, and it's interesting to me when they have banknotes that won't show any persons on them, because I doubt that there's any time in life where there are not literally dozens of people milling around and about these buildings. Moving from Burundi to Rwanda. This is a note that I believe it predates the horrible genocides that occurred in Rwanda that the UN just let happen. I mean, the UN allowed it. But again, I don't want to get too political. And it shows a maiden bearing a basket with harvest, and it shows crops being harvested. And over here, it shows probably a coffee plant, because coffee is a big deal in Rwanda. But it's the back of the note that has a lovely scene of water and volcanoes in the distance and trees. Very bucolic, unlike it was in later years. But on the left here, we have another banana palm with a great big banana. These banana palms can be anywhere from 5 meters to 25 meters tall, or 15, maybe 20 meters tall. They can get to be pretty big. Maybe it's more like 5 to 10 or 15 meters. I don't know. I don't really. I have to kind of apologize for my memory at this point. I'm going to blame COVID because I can. It was something that hospitalized me a couple years ago. Here is another banknote from Guinea, and it shows a tragic hero on this side. This country liked to put people of other nations on it, so you have notes that would have the King of Morocco, you have Libyan and Algerian heroes, you have somebody from Yugoslavia, and you have this man right here who's going to figure in another program of mine that I will put out shortly. A nice engraving of him, but the reason this note is in this exhibit is because of the banana plantation on the back of the note. Another scene with bananas being harvested, carried to whatever destination. And what I like about this is it even has, the rays to kind of allude to the bright future of this country. Let's move on to Samoa. And this is a tintala from the Republic of Samoa, and it has a lovely ocean scene here, flag waving, palm trees, beach. Lots of things that would make this note be included in multiple themes of different banknotes. Let's take a look at the back. And here we have not a plantation scene, but a single banana palm with clusters of bananas being cut off for harvest. Most of the bananas you'd find at the store come from the Cavendish family of bananas, and there's some concern that there'll be a big banana famine, just like happened with the potatoes. And so they're working hard to make sure that there's not a problem in the future with banana diseases. For me, that's a solace because I spend a lot. I eat a lot of bananas, so there you go. This is a St. Thomas and Prince banknote, and on the front we have a massive cluster of many, many hands of bananas superimposed over some banana palm leaves on the face of the note. The back of the note is why this note was featured in an earlier theme video I did of chocolate. Go back through my earlier videos and you can find chocolate, food of the gods, and it'll depict this note. Chocolate and bananas. How many of you guys have ever had that delicious frozen treat? All right, we're going to go from there to Somalia. And this is not an ugly note. You see weaving on the front, so this note would fit nicely in with the weaving or textile theme on banknotes. And on the back, you can see, not necessarily a palm situation, but bananas. Workers here in the foreground, little donkey. And at first I was like, is this really bananas? But you can see right there, there appear to be some hands of bananas. So I'm going to go with it, yeah, being bananas. Not one of the best engravings of human beings I see on the banknote, but I don't know, they're not an ideal nation for taking care of their people anyway. We're going to move from there to Uganda, who used to have a similar reputation for visiting tragedy on their own citizens. So let's take a look at this 10 shillings of Uganda. Face of the note doesn't have much for the imagination, but on the back of the note you have those beautiful African cattle, fishermen here in the background, probably dates and coffee, I would imagine. Coffee berries figure prominently on some of the earlier issues with Idi Amin. And in the foreground, bunches of bananas, and I would guess sugarcane. If you have more information about what actually is on this note, let me know. I can be cussed and discussed at Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. Like and subscribe, and by all means, share this channel with the teachers in your life and anybody who likes numismatics. And to close out this theme video is a banknote from Suriname, a 10 golden, and you have a beautiful toucan over here, and you have bananas over here, and then you have that device that they had at the Chiquita banana plantations that I visited in Honduras, where they would get these and they would put them on hooks, and then they would conveyor ride all the way down. And yeah, they let you ride it too, but you had to sign a waiver because Chiquita was not going to pay for your hospital bills if you needed. Well, that's about it. I'm Benjamin. This has been Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.